The episode opens with a heavy silence, the kind that tells you something has already gone very wrong. Dunk sits alone, stripped of control, staring at stone walls that feel closer with every breath. And right away, the show reminds us, this isn't just about a tournament anymore. This is about survival, honor, and a system designed to crush people like him. A hedge knight without status, without protection, without allies, or so it seems. But then comes the first emotional pivot egg returns, and nothing is the same. The dynamic shifts instantly. Gone is the playful disguise. Now we're confronted with the reality of his true identity, and with it comes the tension between loyalty and deception. Dunk isn't just angry because he was lied to. He's shaken because the one person he trusted is tied to the very power structure that might destroy him. And yet, beneath all that frustration, you can feel the bond between them refusing to break. This episode thrives on uncomfortable truths, not loud battles, not spectacle. Instead, it puts characters and rooms together and forces them to confront consequences. Authority figures appear less as villains and more as trapped players inside their own political cages. Even those with immense power can't simply fix what's happening. Laws, tradition, and family politics tighten around everyone like chains. And then comes the central concept of the episode, a ritual older than most kingdoms, rooted in religion, honor, and a little bit of spectacle. A trial of 7. Not just a duel, not a simple fight. A full-scale test of faith and reputation, where justice is supposedly decided by divine will. 7 champions on each side. 7 voices calling for judgment. It's grand, terrifying, and deeply personal. Here's where the show sneaks in one of its most fascinating themes: how history becomes myth. Characters talk about ancient heroes, legendary knights, and glorious traditions. But the camera keeps reminding us that behind every legend is a messy human truth. Stories grow bigger with every retelling. Heroes become flawless. Villains become monsters. And somewhere in the middle, reality gets lost. Now watch closely as the episode shifts into a subtle race against time. Dunk needs Alisix, knights willing to risk everything for a man most of them barely know. And this is where the narrative becomes less about combat and more about character. Every potential ally represents a different side of Westeros ambition: honor, resentment, faith, revenge. Some see Dunk as a symbol of justice. Others see a chance for glory. A few just want to challenge the royal family without saying it out loud. But just when you think this is a classic Heroes Assemble story, the episode pulls the rug out. Trust becomes fragile. Promises feel hollow. And you realize that politics runs deeper than friendship. Titles and land can turn loyalty into bargaining chips overnight. The show makes you question every smile, every oath, every handshake. Who's genuine? Who's calculating? Who's just waiting for a better offer? Meanwhile, the royal family dynamics simmer under the surface like a pot ready to boil over. This ISNT, just a legal, conflicted S, a reflection of a dynasty still bruised from past wars. Old resentments linger. Personal grudges bleed into public decisions. Even moments of compassion carry the weight of history. When characters talk about duty, you can hear exhaustion in their voices, like they're trying to keep the realm together with threads that could snap at any moment. Another emotional high point arrives when Dunk reflects on what it truly means to be a knight. Not the shining armor, not the pageantry, the vows, the responsibility to defend those who cannot defend themselves. The show draws a clear contrast between the idea of knighthood and the reality of how many knights behave. Some chase power, some chase fame, and a rare few still believe in protecting the innocent. Dunk stands in that uncomfortable middle ground, unsure whether he deserves the title he carries, yet refusing to abandon its ideals. And just when the pressure reaches its peak, betrayal hits, quiet, personal, devastating. The kind of betrayal that doesn't come from enemies but from someone who once stood beside you. It's not framed as shocking for spectacle, it hurts because it feels believable. Because in a world where status is everything, honor often loses to opportunity. Then the episode gives us smaller, more intimate moments that ground the story. Conversations about childhood fears, memories of abuse, the quiet confessions that explain why characters act the way they do. These aren't throwaway scenes. They're emotional anchors. They remind us that behind armor and banners are people shaped by pain, ambition, and longing for recognition. Visually, the episode leans into symbolism more than action. Shields, colors, sigils. Sigils, every detail tells a story about identity. One particular gift stands out as more than just equipment. It becomes a metaphor for hope and resilience. Something created not for glory but for survival. Something that carries the mark of someone who believed in Dunk even when he doubted himself. And here's another pattern interrupt us. When the situation seems hopeless, unexpected allies appear. Not because Dunk is powerful, but because he inspired something in them. Each arrival feels like a spark of hope, but also a reminder that every person who joins his side is risking everything. Their reputations, their futures, their lives. What makes the final stretch of the episode so powerful is its tone. It stops pretending that honor alone can fix everything. The characters acknowledge that doing the right thing comes with real, painful consequences. The kind that linger long after the cheering stops. The show refuses to present morality as easy or clean. It's messy, complicated, often lonely. Then comes one of the most emotional speeches of the Cessna moment, where Dunk calls out the hypocrisy around him. He challenges the very audience watching within the world of the story. If knights exist to protect the weak, where are they now? It's raw, vulnerable, and for a moment it feels like no one will answer. And just when the silence becomes unbearable, everything changes. An unexpected arrival shifts the emotional gravity of the episode completely. It's not just a strategic advantage, it's a statement. A reminder that sometimes the most powerful act isn't fighting, it's choosing a side. That single choice transforms the trial from a lonely struggle into a clash that carries personal and political weight far beyond the arena. The episode closes on a note that's equal parts triumph and dread. Teams assembled, lines drawn, families divided. What began as a simple dispute has escalated into something that could reshape relationships across the realm. And even though the crowd sees a spectacle, the characters know what's truly at stake, not just victory or defeat, but the meaning of honor itself. And here's the lingering question the episode leaves us with. What defines a knight? The title, the armor, the vows, or the choices made when no one else is willing to stand beside you. Because as we move forward, one thing becomes clear: this isn't just a trial of combat. It's a trial of loyalty, courage, and the belief that goodness can still survive in a world that rewards cruelty. And the real battle hasn't even begun yet. Thanks for watching.